Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 has come to GeForce Now after waiting many months. And since the game has been on Xbox Cloud Gaming for a while now, I wanted to compare how it performed versus GeForce Now. Can you fly in the clouds on the cloud? Well, let's see how well these platforms fly. So I tried Xbox Cloud Gaming first. Why? Because I heard Flight Simulator 2024 ran terribly on the Xbox Series S. And since Xbox Cloud Gaming mimics the Series S in performance, we wanted to see whether that was true. Flight Simulator 2024 has some really cool features, but it's been reported to have grounded performance for many of the players. The feature of pulling geographical data from the cloud really takes a toll on performance. Along with that, the graphics themselves are some of the best seen in the Microsoft Flight Sim franchise. This has limited gameplay immensely. Xbox Cloud can only run the game at 1080p 30 FPS. And check out all these graphic options. Crickets, yes. But that's kinda standard for a console game, but for those looking to play with anything other than a controller, you're kinda out of luck. But again, that's pretty standard for console even though Xbox Cloud does support mouse and keyboard with many games now. Loading times were horrendous. I waited close to 3 minutes in some scenarios. Now on top of this, loading assets while in-game were a nightmare. Now check this out. I'm in cockpit view and oh hey there. And then I changed the camera to external view, 30 FPS in full display of course. Then I go back to cockpit view and my display is gone plus...
What the hell? Oh my god, no way.
Brother,
Okay, we can look past this. Yes, the gameplay is okay. Flying with the controller is not my forte, but it gets the job done, and I have to say, the career mode is cool. It's actually something I'd like to do in real life. But doing this on Xbox Cloud Gaming is not ideal right now, especially when the game crashes on me. Is this something GeForce Now Ultimate can fix? Let's see. Now I went straight for the GeForce Now Ultimate tier because I wanted to see what it would take to run this game well. Can the most powerful tier we know even handle this game? Well, I started in 4K and yes, things look way better as the game loads at 120 FPS. But of course, there will be some stipulations. Let's start with the graphics. On default, graphics are set to Ultra, DLSS set to Auto, and frame generation is off. These are pretty decent settings that I expect from GeForce Now. But what I really want to talk about is whether GeForce Now can accept my joystick and throttle. Pause. Anyway, I have a Thrustmaster T16000M with Hostess, and unfortunately, these USB peripherals are each recognized as Xbox controllers. So no, GeForce Now does not support various USB joysticks, at least not yet. Mouse and keyboard is a go though. Now on to gameplay with my controller again. Surprisingly enough, with these settings provided on default, performance was better. But not by a ton. I actually had massive FPS drops during flight. It didn't really matter where I was flying or what I was doing. I could be going supersonic. Or qualifying for my pilot's license once again. I had massive FPS drops well below 60. Oh, that's what she's supposed to look like. She's helping me with my joystick. So I turned frame generation on to see if this would help anything. It didn't. What's going on? I thought frame generation was going to be the savior of lack of optimization. What happened? So what about lowering resolution? Did this help? It actually did. But here's what happens. At 1080p with settings on Ultra, DLSS on, along with frame gen, the frames will dip and rise pretty heavily depending on where you are and how high you are. I've hit frames under 60 and I've hit frames close to 120. It literally depends on what's going on. You could be flying over Stofers because nothing comes closer to home. Or fly into your home. I got pretty high frames doing this. So with these settings, I averaged around 100 FPS. If I was closer to the ground, it would end up being worse. Naturally, because the geographic data and imagery are more in sight here. So if you play at 1080p, I highly recommend these settings. Now the settings that work the best: graphics on low with frame generation on. This got me frames above 100 and hitting 120 on a regular basis. Granted, the game kinda looks like it's Flight Simulator 98, but at least it runs well now. So I'm sure you can mess with the settings to increase the graphics just right to get a happy medium, but I've got plenty of videos to make, and well, I'm okay flying like this for now. And I'll definitely be playing a lot more once they add joystick support. And I have no idea if that's even on their radar. See what I did there? Anyway, GeForce Now is obviously the best way to play the game. Thanks to fake frames, frame generation. We'll be able to fly smoothly in the clouds, on the cloud. So let me know what you guys think about my results in the comments below. And if you like this comparison of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 on Xbox Cloud versus GeForce Now Ultimate, give us a like. Also, make sure to join as a member of the channel or join our Patreon and our Discord in links below. And above all else, make sure to subscribe to keep it locked right here at the only place we can do battle in gaming heaven, Cloud Gaming Battle. Wait, who the heck are you?